Let's get into Project 2025. I'm seeing too many people pulling their hair out about this. Some of y'all are bald-headed. You got no hair to pull out, but you're pulling it out over this Project 2025. And why are you pulling your hair out over this?
A wealthy right-wing think tank swarming with former Trump administration officials have published a very detailed plan for the next Republican president. You get a good sense of what's coming for us. Aside from ostracizing single women, they also want to ban mifepristone, ban stem cell research, implement a White House task force on pro-life issues, add more work requirements to Medicaid, cancel Head Start for kids, and expand access to fertility awareness family planning methods.
Because somebody told you, be scared. You got to be scared. Don't white people be plotting. They plotting to take away gay people rights. They plotting to take away trans bathrooms. They're plotting to eliminate racial justice initiatives. And they want to preserve advantages for white Americans. They want to give it a justice system, the EPA, the Department of Education. They want to slash healthcare insurance. They want to shut down access to safe child reproductive care and stuff that I can't say because YouTube is real petty. They want to delete orientation and gender identity. That's it. So this is all this stuff that's in this Project 2025. And they're like telling people to go read this 900-page book, which no one's reading the 900-page book, okay? I'm not reading a 900-page nothing, okay? Nah, it's not going to happen. But let me tell you this, folks. Project 2025 has nothing to do with Donald Trump. See, our media is full of a bunch of liars. And they have convinced a bunch of people who hate Trump that this is his agenda. I saw some despicable things, man. If it was Trump's agenda, I'd say it was Trump's agenda. It's not on his website because it's not his. He didn't write it. He ain't running on it. He didn't come up with it. Some white conservative, old conservatives or whatever came up with this. Okay? It's an organization that put this together, okay? And for them to say it's Trump's agenda, it's just a pat lie, man. It's straight up lie. It's a way to gaslight people because, see, they tried everything else they could. Now they're going for extra points on the fear. I mean, before in 2016, I remember them saying, Trump gonna bring back slavery. They were literally saying this. They were literally saying Trump was going to bring back slavery. Guess what happened? No slavery. In fact, the slaves actually do exist in this world, by the way. Okay, there is actual slavery in the world. But you're talking about in America, okay? But it didn't happen. So all they do is try to scare, particularly black people, into doing something. And I've seen a lot of the liberals all scared and peeing on themselves. Remember when Ice Cube came up with the contract with Black America? Yeah. Was that Joe Biden's agenda or was that Ice Cube's agenda? I'm asking. Was the contract with Black America, was that Ice Cube's agenda or was it Biden's agenda? Was it Jill Stein's agenda? Or Howie Hawkins for the Green Party? Was it Trump's agenda? No, it wasn't. It was Ice Cube's contract with Black America. The Heritage Campaign or the Heritage Foundation and those other organizations that put together this 900-page report, it's their agenda. It's what they came up with. They would like Trump to adopt it. He says he don't support it. He hasn't adopted anything.
A post from Donald Trump reads as follows. I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who is behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them.
He hasn't adopted this. Okay? Similar to Biden didn't adopt the contract with Black America, did he? They're trying to stick this organization's agenda to Trump and use it to scare people because they got nothing else. They convict him of crimes, Class C felonies. You lied in your record books. You lied in your spreadsheet. You're supposed to put that over there. You didn't put it over here. You're a felon. You're a felon. Okay, that didn't work. So they've been using this 2025 thing. Okay, it's bozo. It's gonzo. It's silly. Project 2025 would be challenged in every courtroom across this country. It would get challenged. But here's the thing. It's not a part of the agenda. Okay, it's not a part of Trump's agenda. Trump's agenda is probably not great, but it's on his website. The least they could do is run against the guy's website. At least run against what he's saying he's going to do. At least run against his actual agenda that's there. When I bring you Dr. Cornel West, and I took a whole show going through all of his agenda. I went through what was his policies, what his policy support, what they didn't support, all this stuff. I went through it because that's what you do. These guys use someone else's report and say, hey, this is what he's going to do. It doesn't matter if they say, hey, we would do this under Trump. They would try to get that. They would try to get any administration to adopt their agenda. Just like Ice Cube would try to get anybody's, or Ice Cube's organization that wrote the contract with Black America. It wasn't just Ice Cube. People put together to write that, okay? Dr. Derek Hamilton did the forward, and there was a group of people that put together the contract with Black America. Ice Cube was willing to have anybody embrace it, endorse it, and implement it. It's the same thing with the Heritage Foundation. They wrote something, they want Trump to use it. Trump said he's not using it. My thing is this, man. Why come people can't be honest? Taraji Henson is a scumbag. Now, I'm glad people care about politics. How about we care about the truth too? Why come we can't care about truth? Why come we can't just like say, okay, what's Trump's policies? What's Biden's policies? And how can we make whoever we give our vote for give us more policy that helps us? Us specifically. You're at the BET Awards and you're talking about a organization that's not in power. They're not in power. You could have used the time to talk about policies that you want your actual representatives to implement. Not these kooky people who wrote up their own manifesto. People write manifestos all the time. They don't have any power to implement them. Every one of the shooters had a manifesto, dum-dum. So what? So you're going to say next, hey, that shooter that shot all those people, he was a Trump supporter, and Trump's going to adopt his manifesto. What's the difference? I'm trying to understand what's the difference. Now, if this Project 2025 was actually created by Trump and his people, that would be different. If it was on his website and he was promoting it and he was running around promoting it on the stump, that would be different. What they're trying to say is anything he says, like he's like, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And see, he's going to be a dictator. You mean a dictator like Obama who kills American citizens without due process? You mean like that? Or you mean like spying on Americans, which is what the CIA and the FBI does already? That was uncovered by like Edward Snowden. You know? Or send our military to do things that are illegal, like which was uncovered by WikiLeaks, or Julian Assange, Chelsea Manning. Like these things are already exposed that you're talking about. And you know what? And I'm not so certain the Department of Justice doesn't need to go anyway. I mean, I haven't read the report, but I know there's certain things in there. What are they really good for? Some of these things, I don't know what they're so great about. Okay? I don't know what's so great about some of our organizations. Have you worked in some of our organizations? Have you seen the gluttony and the waste and the corruption in a lot of these organizations? You don't think that there's corruption and waste and glutton? See, there's always a kernel of good and bad in everything. But they just want to dismiss everything. I don't dismiss anything. But I do know there's fear-mongering and scaremongering with some document written by some people that aren't in power in this country. Do they have money? Yes. Old white guys with money. We know that. Doesn't mean does not mean that that's part of Trump's policy. And didn't the Heritage Foundation write our current Obamacare? Didn't they write it for him? Like Mitt Romney and those guys, like didn't they write that for him? Isn't that one of their policies, wasn't it? Taraji? I'm Tim Black. I worked so hard. I worked hard to get that gig. I need the money, Tim. Just shut up, Tim. Shut up. You sit down, Taraji. You sit down. Big old monster. I hate you, Shouty. She played the same character in every movie. And I like Taraji. She from D.C. She went to Howard, man. My man Skinny used to date her. Skinny was what, Northeast Groovers, I think? All right, anyway. They got a manifesto, man, that they want to implement. It's probably all garbage, but they don't have any power to get it done. In my opinion, Trump does not seem as conservative as people want to give him credit for. He is not those guys, in my opinion. Do I trust his policies? All his policies? Hell no. Some of his policies that he brags about, I'm not that excited about or like at all. I didn't like opportunity zones. It was garbage, in my opinion. It didn't go far enough. There was no stipulation that you had to hire local workers. I felt it helped corporations, just like most of what Trump did, help corporations, which is what most Republicans do when they come to office. Honestly, guys, barring all of the noise and the tweets, Trump's policies were pretty much just Republican policies. I mean, I know people want you to think he was Lucifer's cousin, if not him incarnated. But at the end of the day, it was like he basically was just a Republican with a big mouth. And in our system of Democrats and Republicans, and considering how Republican our Democrats are, it's not that different than what we have now. You know, the difference between their tax code was, and now with the immigration thing changing for Biden, because he sees the writing on the wall, there's very little difference. Both of them are law and order presidents. Anybody who knows Biden's track record should not be shocked by that. Okay? I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference. Okay? Not a whole lot of difference in policy. But yeah, I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people using Project 2025 to scare the hell out of people. You know, the Tim Black Wolfpack could come up with a manifesto tomorrow. Okay? And we could say, we want a Democrat to adopt it. But unless the Democrat adopts it, it's just paper. It's just words on the paper, man. It's just words on paper. All types of organizations have manifestos and plans and projects. That's what they do. But to wield it, to hold it over people's heads, anything to distract us from making demands of Biden, anything to distract us from actually saying, what you gonna do for me and why should I vote for you? They love using, and a lot of the cornballs, they love falling for it. They get paid. I understand why DL falls for it. I understand why Earthquake falls for it. I understand why Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey fall for it. I understand why Jasmine Crockett and Simone Sanders and Joy Reid and Whoopi Goldberg and Sonny Hutz, I understand why they fall for it. It gives them money. It's their livelihoods. I get that. But why regular voters fall for it, it boggles my mind. You get nothing out of being so afraid that you just give a guy your vote who refuses to do anything to change your tangible life conditions. You don't even have the guts to say, hey, you want this, I want that. Basic. That's all I'm saying. You want this, we want that. What's up? What is so crazy and deranged about that type of concept? Why is that a problem for the Roland Martins? Why is that a problem? Because Trump is scary. They use that every time. Every election. They tell you how scary they are. They said Romney was scary. They said McCain was scary. This guy. They said he was scary. Every time. They paint the other guy as the scariest person that's ever existed, and then just to keep you from saying, you want our vote? We want this. When will people finally get it? Now, it's different if you're new to the process, man. If you're new to the process, you never seen this before, I get it. I get it. You don't know. But for those of us who have been around the bend a couple times, ain't no excuses for you, man. It's no excuse if you're over 40 years old and you've been around seeing elections come and go and you heard this rhetoric every election, every damn election. It's the same thing. In every damn election, you buy it? Nah, man. You're a new fool if you do that. They say the same thing every time anybody runs. And all I'm saying is ignore what they're saying and you start saying. You serve the terms. You set the parameters. You set the narrative. And you say, hey, we gonna get something for this vote. That's what we're gonna do this time. Not so fast, Scooter. Hold up, Scooter. Come back. I see you running off. No, come back. Have a seat. Let's have a conversation. JoJo. Let's talk. All of us, we want something for our vote. See, 40% of black people are homeless. Well, of the homeless, 40% of black people are 40% of the homeless population in America. We're only 14% of the population, so we gonna need something. Right, y'all? That's right. That's how it's supposed to go. Instead, we got these sellouts in the front going, can I get a job, Joe? Oh, I can. I'll tell them whatever you want me to tell them, boss. Shaking it over here, boss. Shaking it over here, boss. You understand that's what's happening? You don't get it? Okay, Al, just go out there. Well, Al, go out there and tell him what I told you to tell him. Okay, I will, sir. Yes, sir. And Al comes right out here and tries to scare the hell out of you. They paid Al. They paid his ass off long ago. Paid off Jesse, paid off Al. That's why it's time for them to go, man. All they did was get fat. They got fat and they got paid. Meanwhile, the last 30 years, if Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and all these other guys were so great, why aren't we doing better? Why aren't we doing better, Johnson? How are we going to have the same amount of wealth that we had in 1874? How are we going to have, if we haven't made an inch of progress since the Civil Rights Movement, and these same legacy leaders, handpicked by the establishment, are still in place, what's that telling you? Man, damn, we don't need a mind reader, man. We don't need a forensic scientist to that. We don't need a quantum physics. We don't need that. We don't need a Stephen Hawkins. We don't need that. Nah, we just need people with common sense. Hey, the team ain't done better since y'all been coaching. Y'all been coaching for 30 years, and we still 0-10, 0-12 every year. So we thinking maybe we should switch coaches and get some new coaches. Now, you don't want to do that, brother, because we're the ones that know how things work around here, man. You go doing that, man. We might win a game. I mean, you go doing that, man. You gonna mess up everything, man. You gonna mess up everything. You a sellout and you a coon for wanting to change up. Why would you want to change things? Tell him he's crazy. You are crazy for wanting to change anything. We lose, but we lose with style. We are excellence. When you gonna stop listening to nonsense? How does it make sense? Look, man, I tell you, man, look. If you're gonna keep getting beat, If you're going to keep losing, at least find a new way to lose. Like, I'm not saying I got all the answers, but I damn sure got a lot of questions. And my question is, if you keep losing by doing it that way, at least try a new way. You may lose, but at least it'll be a new way. It'll be a new way to find out another thing that didn't work. But we got to stop listening to Al Sharpton. And if I see Ben Crump one more time try to muddle through a speech, I'm beginning to think he a part of his setup. Yeah, well, he make Mushmouth seem like a valedictorian. He make Mushmouth look like, damn, Mushmouth, he was a genius. He make Mushmouth sound like Les Brown. Every time I turn around, it's either Ben Crump or Al Sharpton. Come on, man. Nah, man. It's like the black community has been run by corrupt prosperity teachers, actors, and charlatans like Al Sharpton, El Corrupto. All of them, man. We okay? It's got to end. Project 2025. I don't endorse it. I don't support it. I'm also not reading that long ass drawn out. I got a synopsis. I put that sucker in a one of these large language models and had it spit it out to me what the core takeaways were. I'm not reading 990 pages from some corrupt ass Klan organizations that hate black people. Why would I read that, man? Why would I read that? You know who else has a manifesto? The Aryan Nation. You know who else who has one? The KKK. You know who else has one? Nazis. You want to know what? All these organizations, all these other groups. You know how many organizations and hate groups and all types of right wing and left wing and orange ring and onion rings there are, Johnson, that have reports? But see, they want to scare us into lining up behind Biden. And look, man, I'm not a person telling you who to line up behind. But what I'm saying is we got to have a demand for that vote, Johnson. If you're going to get off the couch, have a reason. Have a damn reason. Don't just get up like a robot. Well, they said, Whoopi Goldberg said that we should listen to our wives because our wives said. I mean, and another thing, there are a lot of women that are smarter than that know what's going on with Joe too. They ain't listening to these morons. They looking at Joe Biden like something wrong with him too. They can see. They can see too. They looking right at him like, I see Joe. I see something wrong, Joe. So yeah, I'm not knocking women on that. I'm just saying we gotta stop falling for the okie doke. Look, guys, my name is Tim Black. We do this every day, except Saturday. I put out content constantly. We're rallying back to where we used to be. This is a Calling It Out Tim Black show. That's what we do. We call it out. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want you to go to jointimblack.com. Buy me one cup of coffee once a month. That's it. One cup of coffee, man. I got some new people that came through too, man. I appreciate y'all.